wanted to ask you about, and that we did get some questions about online, which is a promise that you made that universities that do not pay sufficient attention to free speech on campus will have their federal funding withdrawn or reduced. And it is now not only a question that I have to put to the Conservative leader, because in the budget the Liberals made a similar promise, which is that university campuses that don't work hard enough to fight against sexual assault will also have their federal funding withdrawn or reduced. And the question I have is, what federal funding? To what extent does Ottawa reach into a university campus in such a way that you can withdraw that funding if you don't like what's going on that campus?
Well, to back up a little bit, the Liberals already established the precedent on this when they said that funding would be prioritized to universities who achieved certain targets on achieving diversity. So I think gender diversity was the goal that they were using. So there are research grants that go to universities, and the federal government gets to decide where to prioritize that spending, and there's already a criteria set as to who's prioritized. And what I've committed to saying is that as part of that evaluation, as part of that criteria, I want to see universities have a regime around protecting free speech. I think it's critically important at this point in time, where the answer to people who disagree with what they're hearing from is not to engage in the debate and sharpen their answers and to propose an alternative or to show why they're right and the other people are wrong. Many groups are just shutting the debate down. And that's not fair. That's not right. It goes against our fundamental freedoms. It's a dangerous trend, and we cannot allow a small group of very loud and vocal people willing to break the law, people willing to get arrested, people who wear masks and in some cases violently assault people who are coming in to give a talk or to expound on what they believe should happen. We can't allow them to stifle that free speech. There are models in other places. Some universities have adopted these types of regimes already, and that's what I would do. I would set that into the criteria. I've already had conversations with representatives from universities. I think the majority of university officials are dismayed at what's going on. It's not a success when an event gets canceled. It's not a good thing when a tenured professor comes and is not able to give a talk, or when campus clubs are not able to hold events. That nobody believes that that's a good thing. So I'm confident that we can come up with a regime that makes sense, a framework that will have a real impact on protecting free speech, while at the same time recognizing that universities do have legitimate challenges with who they allow on their campus, and also with providing a safe and secure access space for students.
What are the cases that come to mind when you talk about this dangerous trend?
Well, the TA at Laurier University, she was basically virtually threatened with losing her job for showing two sides of debate, for showing a clip from a public broadcaster on a current topic, to be hauled before an ad hoc tribunal and threatened and harassed with her job. I don't think that's a very good trend. And I think that when I was in university, I loved the debate. I love being challenged. I love challenging my professors, and I had professors lose their cool on me, and sometimes, and I went to poli-sci at Ottawa U. We had some great knock them down, drag them out debates, not physically, not literally knock them down, drag them out. And I think that's the key. And we all would leave, head to the Royal Oak for a picture afterwards, and respect the fact that and celebrate the fact that we could do that. This country is one of the countries in the world where you can do that. You can say those things. You can profess what you believe in and respect people who disagree with you. I think there's a real appetite for young people to return to that type of thing, because young people don't like to be told what to think or what to say. They don't. I know when I was going through university, there's that sense of nobody can tell me what to do or think. I'm going to chart my own way for through the world. And I think a policy around free speech, protecting that, I tell you, some of the groups that like this the most, I've received the most amount of positive feedback, have been young people.
One of the questions